How do you know if training twice a day is too much? How do you know if training twice a day is too much? If we're trying to lose fat, if we're trying to build muscle, what's wrong with just training twice a day, right? 2 times, it must be double the results. So how do we know if that's too much? So in the comments, I want you to give me just your opinion, right? Or if you've done it before, how does it feel when you train twice a day, and do you feel like it gives you double the results? All right. So today on Lunchtime Logic, I had a guy email me at coachmark22@gmail.com. That is coachmark22@gmail.com. And it goes as follows. Now, he's 43 years old, right? And he says, basically, listen, I'm not going to give you a whole backstory on how long I was out of shape, but I just got back in the gym and I feel really, really great. He's been in the gym for 2 to 3 months now, right? He's had some decent amount of fat loss. He had a nice amount of fat loss over this last 2, 3 months. So basically he's gotten into a pattern now where he works out in the morning, but then he works out again late afternoon or early evening. Okay. So he's working out twice a day. A lot of times he has a lot of energy through his workouts, but he's seeing some of the workouts he doesn't have as much energy. He's seeing his soreness increase, but he saw the scale move, right? He's seeing the scale move from time to time. So he wants to keep going, right? So not only that, he is experiencing fluctuations in his sleep. One night his sleep will be amazing. The next night his sleep might struggle. Okay. So he's pretty much asking, how should he approach the next couple months? He wants to continue to see all the progress he's been seeing. But is he burning himself out? Is twice a day too much? Was he off the wagon too long? Now, I didn't go into the backstory, but he did say he was off for about 2 years. So after 2 years of non-activity, being sedentary, he gets back into it. He's heavy into it. He's seeing great results. He's getting in really, really good shape again. So how does he know if he's overtraining by training twice a day? All right, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Make sure you guys put your comments and your opinions in the comment section, guys. That is what it's for. All right. Now, if you don't know, my name is Coach Mark. This is Lunchtime Logic. We come on here every day, Monday through Friday, actually, and we have lunch together and we talk about people's issues, right? Because why? Because we all eat lunch, guys, for the most part, and we all have issues. All right. So that is the premise. Now, I also eat lunch. Why is that? I've told you guys this before, but I'll tell you again. It is because a lot of coaches, trainers, fitness influencers are believed to hardly eat at all, to have very low calorie counts, right? And so you guys that we don't eat that much, but that is not the truth. All right. Um, Today, a cup of angel hair pasta, 5 ounces of cooked salmon, 5 ounces of grilled chicken. All right. Um, 2 protein sources and a carb. That's what I've been on, man. That is working really well for me. Normally, I come in at about, man, 24 to 2600 calories a day. Like, I've been struggling to get there. My maintenance is somewhere around 34. I'm gonna just be honest with you, 3400. That's so I just figure out my maintenance. Everybody can figure out their maintenance differently. Everybody's equation is different, but for me, that's how many calories my body burns total, like from start to finish, 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Right? That's with everything. That's at rest. That's while I'm eating. That's with exercise. That's total. So normally I burn about 3400 calories. My weight, I'm 205, 208 a lot of days, right? So that's my maintenance calories. I'm in a maintenance phase, but I like to keep my carbs really low, and that allows my body to run off of fat for fuel. Okay, that's just how I do it. So that allows me to keep a good, seems like a good muscular base, and I can, burn fat at the same time, so I never really accumulate much. Carbs make me retain water, man. I just do. Again, I'm 49, guys. You know what I mean? I'm different. I might be a different style of physique than you, a different style athlete than you. So you might see a lot of great fat loss from consuming a lot of carbs, and that's okay, right? There's no, it's no one cookie cutter solution to this game, okay? Other than sticking with it and being consistent, okay? That's the caveat right there. Now, so we got a young man that has gotten into the gym. He's working out twice a day. He's trying to figure out, does this make sense to keep doing to see the best results, or should he back up on some of the activity? Just plain and simple. All right. Now, let's understand something, guys. There was a time in all of our lives that we were very, very active. Okay? Everybody in this room has been a child before. Okay? So there was a time that you didn't, I mean, you might have rode your bike for an hour. You might have jumped off your bike to go play baseball. You might have got back on your bike to ride home. Then you went and got something to eat. You came back outside and you might have played kickball. You might have played hide and go seek. All right? Very, very active. A lot of us at some point in our lives were just active several times a day. Okay? And guys, we did get tired, right? And normally we stopped when we got tired. We took a break. When we got too tired, we just took a break. We used to be riding our bikes with kids in the summer. Everybody gets tired. We just park our bikes somewhere, man, and we just sit down, right? And then we just get back on and we just go. So a lot of us would say, oh, well, that wasn't overtraining because we were young. You can't overtrain when you're young. You can. But the difference was, again, we took breaks when we wanted to. Whenever we felt tired, we took a break. And we weren't stressing our bodies as much because when you're playing, right? Because most of the activity that we involved ourselves with at 10, 11 years old, it was playing some type of sport or activity. So it's different. You have a different, your body goes through a different, I'd say phase of exhaustion or lack thereof. Because you still feel fatigued. But it's not the same as when you're putting your body under specific stress like we do when we work out. So when it comes to us lifting weights, strength training, HIIT classes, sprinting, running, we are intentionally stressing our body, our muscles, cardiovascular system, right? The whole gamut. And because we're intentionally stressing ourselves, we intentionally push ourselves to certain limits, which is really, really good. Because we see great results from pushing ourselves and stressing our muscles, getting our heart rate up, right? We see insane results from that. But what also ends up happening is we fatigue our muscles, right? We tear our muscle fibers. We work our CNS, okay? So because of that, we have to operate differently on our off days. We have to recover differently. We have to eat differently. So I use that example, guys, because a lot of us got back in the gym like our friend Eric, and we just think we can go balls to the wall like we did when we were kids. So a lot of people get back in the gym and they start where they left off. We've all been guilty of that. Starting where we left off. Where you're not where you were when you left off. Most of you have more body fat than you had then. Think about it. Most of the time when we fall off, that time before when you were in your best, because we can all remember, oh man, I was in really good shape 2015. I was looking great, man, right before COVID. All right, so take yourself back to the almost to the day that you stopped working out actively, that you stopped paying attention to what you eat. I'm not saying you can't get back to that person, but you're not as strong as that person. We do have muscle memory, guys, but if our muscles have not been stressed, we're not building them up with the protein and the correct fats and carbohydrates. If we're not elevating our heart rate frequently throughout the week, we can't expect for our muscles and our organs to perform the way they were when we were at our best, okay? So when we start back, we can't just jump into our old routine as if we started there, because that's not where we started the time before. That's where we ended. You understand? So my man Eric says he's in the gym now. He's losing a lot of weight, losing body fat, and he starts working out twice a day. So how does that happen? Well, that happens because you start seeing results from working out once a day. And you're changing your habits. And I guarantee you, Eric, instead of Eric sitting around drinking at night or eating nachos and wings, he's involving himself in some physical activity, right? He has a lot more time now. Instead of him going to waste time now, and he's making good choices with his time, right? So he's a lot more time available. We're getting rid of certain people we used to hang out with because we're not really seeing results hanging out with these people. So he's operating much differently because his lifestyle choices have changed. So now he has a lot more time to work out. When you start seeing results from working out once a day, why not work out twice a day? Why not? And then we hear athletes and we see documentaries and we see people on YouTube. They work out twice a day. Why can't I? And you're right. Why can't you? You're a human being just like them. Why can't you do what they're doing? So he starts working out twice a day. Not realizing that most of the people in the fitness industry or athletes that we watch have been trained and built up to this point. Bro, they weren't working out twice a day when they were where you are. And most of them are younger. We a lot of times we gravitate towards people who are in better shape than us. Normally they're either younger or more experienced or both. Right? So Eric being 43, he might be following some guys that are 33. And they're former athletes, former college athletes. And they've been fitness since that time. So they've never gone through 5 years where they didn't work out. They've never been where you are, Eric. They didn't start out by, they never went through a period of time that they just sat on their couch every night, bro, and ate popcorn. They never went through that. So you expecting to perform the way they perform is almost impossible. It took them a while to get to this point where they work out twice a day. So let's address this because a lot of us will go through this. Eric felt like he saw results. And why not ramp it up? Why not double the effort? I should see more results. Guys, we've all been there. I have to intentionally, I have to make myself not go there, right? For lack of better terms. I have to keep myself from going there because I go there myself and I know I shouldn't. Because I'm seeing results. I'm in a good groove. I feel great. Why not let's put the pedal to the metal. Issue ends up being that we want to do double the work and we don't have double the recovery, fellas. We don't have double the recovery. I need you to understand that there are some fitness influencers and some coaches, a lot of them. Guys, they don't work 9 to 5s. Like they're not at work from 9 to 5 and then they go make videos. That's their job. Working out and making strength training content, that's their job. They get paid from that. So because they get paid from that, they have more time to rest than you do. Many of them are able to get 8 hours of sleep. Many of them are able to take naps throughout the day. Many of them are able to lay around on a Saturday while you're at your kid's soccer game. You understand? Many of them don't drink and bar hop. So they're at home on the weekends recovering, right? Also, many of them have access to modes of recovery at their home. Sauna, steam room, cold plunge, whirlpool, right? Red light therapy. Now, it's a choice. They chose to purchase those things, but I'm just letting you know that their recovery is at a different level. So, Eric, by you trying to work out twice a day, brother, and you didn't increase your recovery. Now, nobody's saying you can double your recovery because most of the time you can't double your sleep, right? Even if you're only sleeping 6 hours, like you're not going to be able to sleep 12. That's probably not going to happen. You probably don't have the type lifestyle that you could just take naps during the day. Okay, I understand that. But if you're working out twice, you went from working out once a day. Let's say you work out once a day, 7 days a week, and you don't have a rest day, and then you start working out twice a day. You went from 7 workouts a week to 14. 7 workouts a week to 14. So Eric, if you were gonna work out twice a day, if you were gonna do something twice a day, you have to build in some rest days. You have to. Because one of the worst things that's happening right now, Eric, is that by whatever day of the week, even if you rest on Sundays, bro, by Wednesday nights, you're 6 workouts in, bro. Thursday morning, how do you think you're not performing at 100%? That's the biggest thing. Like, you could work out Thursday morning. You're not at 100%. Like, when you pick your phone up after what you thought was being on the charger all night and realized that the charger wasn't plugged up, and your phone's on 20%, 30%, 40%. Now, guys, we all think that our phones work well no matter what percentage it's on, but it doesn't. The applications don't run as fast. Text messages and photos don't send us as quickly. Quality of our phone calls dips. That's how the body works, bro. And you have to understand, if you're doing this every week, it's getting worse and worse and worse. From now, what's happening is a lot of your Thursday, Friday, Saturday workouts, bro, you're training muscles that haven't repaired yet. You know? You're working a cardiovascular system that needs to take a break. So it's not working on a full battery, brother. So not only are you having some lackluster workouts because you haven't fully recovered, you haven't gotten back to 100%. You're also increasing your appetite. So what have you done with your nutrition to support working out twice a day? Okay. Now, I talked to you earlier about my maintenance being at 3,500 calories. Okay. So there are some days when I get in a lot more activity than others, right? And I track my calories. That's how I know what my activity is, where my activity levels are. So some days I need to kind of force feed myself, right? To make sure that my body has the adequate nutrients to recover and support the energy output. It's hard for us to give out a lot if we don't bring in a lot, right? So we can't push out, for lack of better terms, guys. I'm getting tongue tied. We can't push out a bunch of energy, have a big energy output, and we don't have a big energy input. Eventually, we're going to run out of energy. So you have to look at your nutrition, your meal plan, and say, okay, am I at maintenance right now, or am I in a deficit? Because, brother, I'm going to assume you're in a deficit. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say you're in a deficit, bro. And I know it's easier said than done because I've been there. But what we do is we go to the gas pump and put $10 in our car and expect for it to run for 5 hours. And that's not how that works. That's not how that works, brother. The the larger amount of quality fuel we put in that machine, the longer and the better it's going to run. And that is it. So I would imagine you need to look at your calories and get at least back to maintenance. If you're going to work out twice a day, because for somebody that works out twice a day, it's going to be hard for me to tell you not to, because you don't want to stop working out twice a day. I know you don't. You have to have adequate nutrition. And I'm just talking about just pushing your calories to a point that you're putting enough nutrients in your body that you can support your activity. I know what you're going to say. Well, I'm losing weight. I don't want to go to maintenance. I'm not going to lose anymore. Let me tell you something. 99% of people have a body recomposition goal, not necessarily a weight goal. Because, bro, I'm going to just go on a limb. You have a picture of what you would like to look like. And if you were to attain that physique in that picture, I do not think you would care what you weigh. How many of you would throw your scale away tomorrow if you looked the way you want to look, exactly the way you want to look? So, bro, what happens is when you push your calories back up, and again, adequate fats, adequate protein, adequate carbs, whatever is suggested for your goal situation, right? However you came to this, you might have consulted with a coach, you might have went on chat and looked at it, you might have read about it. However you came to the conclusion that you need to be at 20% body fat, 200 pounds, soaking wet, right? However you came to that, your body will get there with adequate nutrition. You don't have to be in a deficit for too long. You have to understand as well, because you've probably been in a deficit now for 2 or 3 months, bro, that's like 100 days. That's 12. You should never be in a deficit more than 12 weeks. Your favorite athletes and favorite fitness influencers, bro, let me tell you something. Most of the athletes, let's be clear, they're not in deficits. They're just so highly active, and they've never been anything but active. Is that's why you see it, and some of them are also freaks of nature. But these guys are not in a deficit. But your trainers, your wellness coaches, fitness influencers, we go through periods of time that we're in a deficit. And a lot of times they're very short, guys, 14 to 21 days. But it's so aggressive. It's very aggressive. Right? So you got guys going from 4,000 calories down to 2,000. You got guys going from 3,000 calories down to 1,800. And the fat melts off. If you do that enough, and then in your maintenance phases, you stay where you're at, then you're always trending down. Meaning this, if I'm 210 right now and I go through a 21-day cut, and I'm now 200 pounds, during my maintenance phase, guys, I don't bulk up and go up. I don't go back up to 208. I'm 200 the whole time. Then when I cut again, I might go back down to about 195. And then I stay there for 3-4 months. You understand? You're going to stay where you're at when you increase your calories. But it's going to give you some building blocks to support the activity, brother. You're working your body very, very hard, and you don't have the nutrients to support it. So you have to turn your calories up and make sure that the macronutrients are supporting your level of activity. Also, so we already talked about the rest days. I feel like every 3 days you should have a break. A full day of you being just about as non-active as possible. Okay? Now, if you want that day for you to get in the whirlpool, get in a cold plunge that day, all right? You need a bona fide rest day every 2 to 3 days. Okay? Every 2 to 3 days. Now, some would say, if you're going to train 6 days twice a day for 6 days straight and only take 1 day off, that second workout does not need to be intense, or the other way around. So if you have 2 workouts in a day, one of them can be super intense, balls to the wall, but the other one has to be low impact, brother. Because I'm telling you, that second time, your body is now getting into recovery mode, and you're actually interrupting that progress, that process. Right? Again, I'm I do it myself sometimes, and I have to back up from doing it. So the most I'll do, guys, is a light jog in the evening. Okay, light jog, flat surface, nothing intense. That's just what I do. Could I back up off of that sometimes? I probably could. Some days I just need to feel like, I need to bring my heart rate up a little higher than just a walk. But most days it's a walk in the evening, and that's sufficient. So that's also an option. But if you feel like working out, with higher intensity twice a day works for you, then by all means continue to do that. Just make sure you take a full day. So that means that workout that's in the evening, say it's at 7, you need to go a full 24 to 36 hours if you can without working out. So that last workout on Wednesday night, you need to go Thursday without touching anything, and then by Friday morning, you get into a workout, and hopefully that'll be about 36 hours, all right? Now, the spacing of your workouts twice a day. Bro, you can't work out from 9 to 11 and then think you're going to work out again from 4 to 5. You got to give your body 8 hours. Got to give your body 8 hours. So if you work out from 6 to 8 a.m., after 4, you can get back to it if that's what you need to do. But trying to put 2 intense workouts and not having 8 hours in between, bro, it's not going to work out good for you. And again, that's another way that you're breaking your body down, not giving it a chance to recover. And so you're showing up to work out for the second time. You're not 100%. You're at 60%. And you're not getting much out of that workout, bro. I know by by halfway through that workout, you're finished. And you're just thinking, oh, I'm just tired. I got to push through. Mentally, I got to push through. Bro, let me tell you something. This, I don't know that the second workout a day is what takes you from good to great. I would say it's the consistency of going every day and keeping that up for months and years, and working out through holidays, working out through vacations, working out through time off, right? Not falling off of your nutrition plan, consistently getting your sleep, not indulging in the vices anymore, the beer, the alcohol, the weed, gambling. That's what really builds you mentally. Because a lot of people will go intense and work out twice a day, bro, and for 100 days, and then they fall off again because they're burnt out. You understand what I mean? So you want that momentum. You want this to become a part of your life. You don't need it to consume your life at this point. You're just trying to get in really good shape, bro. You're not trying to get into health and fitness. You're just trying to get in really good shape. So if you're going to work out twice a day, one of them needs to be a low impact. They need to be 8 hours apart. You need to fuel yourself adequately. So I would say you need to be at least maintenance calories, bro. And hey, in your 40s, man, we gotta pay attention to the macronutrients, man. So we're tracking, we're weighing the food out, and you're meal prepping, and you're not going 4 hours without eating. When you're hungry again, you gotta eat. You gotta eat, bro. Space the workouts 8 hours apart, making sure you adequately have adequate consumption. Your sleep every night. I know I probably shouldn't have to tell you, but 8 hours, and it has to be consistent, and it has to be all the time. And if it's at the regular time every day, if you just have a consistent bedtime, bro, you'll start to have a consistent wake up time because your body will just start waking up without the alarm. And we need to have a day off every 3 days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. You're going to see all the progress you need to see. So working out twice a day isn't bad, bro. We just have to take the proper steps to be able to maintain throughout that time. You can work out twice a day for the rest of your life if you want to. You're not going to be able to do it off a lackluster sleep. You're not going to be able to do it if you don't take adequate rest days and if you're at a calorie deficit. And bro, it won't be effective anyway. Because your body will preserve fat just because it's not getting what is it going to use for fuel, bro? And you're starving it. So it does. Your body doesn't know. He's just trying to get us right for the summer. That's how it goes. All right. So thanks for writing in, Eric. And thank you for using the email address, coachmark22@gmail.com. If you have a submission like Eric and you want me to bring your story up on a lunchtime logic, please email me, coachmark22@gmail.com. All right. Now, also, if you feel like you are someone who needs guidance, you might be like Eric. You might be working out twice a day and it's not working for you. You're not seeing the scale move. You're not seeing inches come off the tape measure. You're not seeing a change in your clothing size, and you need someone to help you with that. If that is the case, go in my bio, click the link, and we'll get on a free consultation to see if you need some coaching, man. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. All right, but we'll never know until you click the link. All right. So this is your guy, Coach Mark. It has been a pleasure as always. I'll be back at you tomorrow with another lunchtime logic, another topic, and more advice, because we are here to get better with each other. That is it. All right. So it's your guy, Coach Mark. This is Transformation Station. I'll see you tomorrow.